The longtime supervisor at the nuclear power plant had just retired. As Homer and the gang were feeling sentimental about his departure, Mr. Burns showed up and announced that one of the three of them would be chosen as the new supervisor. It was clear right away that Homer wasn't cut out for it. Lenny wasn't much better. Carl, however, managed to fix a light bulb, and that was enough to convince Burns. He named Carl the new supervisor. To everyone's surprise, Carl took the role a little too seriously. Instead of celebrating with his buddies, he suddenly became all business. Even when Homer tried to joke around, Carl coldly brushed him off. Still, he appointed Homer as his executive assistant. Homer didn't want the job, but Carl insisted. He had no choice. Now Homer was overworked and exhausted. Even Marge's best attempts to seduce him had no effect. He was just too drained. The next day, Marge tried once again to encourage him, but Homer had clearly hit his limit. By the third day, though, he made reservations at a romantic lodge for the weekend to make it up to Marge. Just as they were about to enjoy a lovely evening, Homer still felt tired, but tried his best to push through. Then Carl called. He needed Homer to join him on a business trip to Paris. Marge was furious. She was steaming as she waved him off at the airport. Even poor Ned caught some of her anger for no reason. Meanwhile, Homer was stuck catering to Carl on the plane. They arrived in Paris and made a grand entrance like celebrities. Homer's job was to whisper people's names and titles to Carl. Thanks to Homer's constant help, Carl became a huge hit at the event. Carl even made Homer get up and dance to entertain the crowd. But on the way back, Carl announced he was extending the trip. He had fallen in love. Now Homer was stuck alone, missing Marge more with every passing moment. Even a gargoyle reminded him of Moe. The next day, Carl called to check in, only to find out Homer had flown back to Springfield. And not only that, Homer had threatened him using the Prime Minister's wife, whom Carl had flirted with. Homer even called the Prime Minister on the spot. That shut Carl down fast. Back home, Homer saw Marge saying goodbye to Ned. The moment was just right. He and Marge couldn't keep their hands off each other anymore. Even the dice on the table cheered them on.